What's good, y'all? It's your boy Mr. Cheap Sense here, and this is Scented Moments. If you're not familiar with his channel, go over and check him out. I'm actually not familiar with this particular person, but as I was scrolling through, like I said before, I don't always want to use the same people over and over and over, so I try to, spread the love. So, Scented Moments, y'all. Before I go any further, I also want to say I know this is probably old news to a lot of people. Happened yesterday. Big salute to Kobe Bryant and his daughter, his 13-year-old daughter Gigi, who passed away yesterday in a helicopter crash. Blessings and prayers going out to the Bryant family. I know his wife, and he had just had another daughter, and so he has I think 3 other surviving daughters and his now widowed wife. So just that's a travesty, man. That was a big loss. That was a hurtful loss. I know all life is tragic when it's lost, but like Kobe was only 41. I'm like barely just older than this dude, man. I'm 42. I don't know when his birthday was. I think he was born in 78. I was born in 77. So age range, it puts us, on the same playing field, but this dude at 41 is not supposed to be gone. Especially his daughter at 13. Like, she literally was on verge to become a superstar in the WNBA. I'm not gonna sit here and look for that. So yeah, just if you have any ounce of decency in you, say a prayer or just keep the family in mind as they are dealing with their dramatic loss. Once again, salute Kobe and his daughter Gigi. That's sad, man. It really is. The NBA was torn up yesterday. I was watching interviews and stuff like that on YouTube from ESPN, and like those guys knew Kobe. They were there through when he was 17 coming into the league, and how he's grown to be this larger than life figure. Like, Jordan is considered by many to be godlike, like for his will, determination, all of that. I know other things outside of basketball is what a lot of people tend to look at when they look at Jordan, being that he's got money in the prison system, his shoes are overly priced, kids are out here killing each other over his shoes, and they say he don't do anything about it. That's fine and dandy. This dude is still doing great things regardless. Kobe, even though he was overlooked, being legendary at that legendary status with Jordan, now people compare LeBron to Jordan and all of this. Like, this is not a bash session, but I'm just showing you the level of where Kobe should be, or where he is in my mind. But people just started overlooking Kobe. I don't know whether it's because he only got 5 rings. Like, if that's the case, then LeBron shouldn't even be in the same category, because LeBron don't even have 6 rings like Jordan. He don't have 5 like Kobe. So whatever, man. I mean, I'm a Jordan fan. Kobe, I was a Kobe fan also, but Jordan to me is first. But is number one, I should say. And then Kobe is on that level. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. It's just sad, tragic. But with that being said, next up, if you're not a subscriber to the channel, please make sure you hit the subscribe button. After the subscribe button, smash the bell for notifications. Make sure you hit all when the icon opens up, so you get any and all content uploaded by me from this channel. Then you're going to want to hit the like button, which is thumbs up. You're going to want to share the video and leave a comment down below. Be active in the comment section. Now, I don't have an actual bottle of this particular fragrance. I don't have a decent I don't have a decently labeled, I should say, decant of this fragrance. It's smeared out. You can't even read it, but I know what it is. This is from Steven over at Redolessence. This is from his line of new fragrances, Navitus. Navitus, I think that's how you say it. This is Absolutio. And I was finally getting a chance to wear this yesterday, even though I wasn't working. I did get to spray this on and give it some wearing. And this is one I actually said way back when Georgia Gent, Matt, and I did a first impression on the two fragrances that he had from the house. Primus is the first one, and to me it gave me a Creed Aventus type vibe. It did change in the dry down, but the opening did give me a Creed Aventus type vibe. I wore this one. I did my review on it separately from what me and Matt and I did, and although it smells nice, I'm just not a fan of this one just because of the Creed Aventus type vibe I was getting from it. But it wasn't a bad fragrance. The performance was okay. I can't complain. But in that same video that Matt and I did, I said just from smelling it, I like sweet fragrances, and this was my favorite out of the two. And I finally got to wear it yesterday. This thing performed like a champ. Now, I do, on the other hand, have an issue, because this smells to me like another fragrance. And it didn't dawn on me until later on in the dry down what this reminded me of. I can kind of pick it up in the opening, smelling it through the atomizer, but it reminded me more of this particular fragrance on the dry down. Absolutio reminds me of Baccarat Rouge 540. And I know some people may not be able to pick that up, but that's the only fragrance that kept coming in my mind that this smelled like. Now, I don't own Baccarat Rouge 540. I only have Sensual Obsessions version of it. And that crystallized cotton candy, Swedish type scent that you get from Baccarat Rouge 540 is exactly what I get from this. Now, I don't know if that's what he was shooting for, but that's what personally I get from this. Now, I did try to compare notes. It has top notes of, and this came from Fragrantica, this particular one. Now, the one for 540 I got from the actual website. But when I initially got these notes from Fragrantica for Absolutio, it only said it had top notes of almond, saffron, and cinnamon. But then when I read the description at the bottom, it said it had cherry in this also in the top notes. So I don't know if, you know, I mean, it does give me a cherry vibe. So it may be in there, but that's what I got. Top notes: cherry, almond, saffron, and cinnamon. Mid notes, you get apple and toffee. And base notes: ambergris, oat moss, caramel, and chocolate. Now, that is the absolute perfect reason why I love this fragrance, because it is sweet. It has cherry, cinnamon, apple, toffee, caramel, and chocolate. It also has driftwood and musk. So all of those sweet notes in here, this is right up my alley. And I wish I could get a bottle of this, but is this broken? I don't know. I wish I could get a bottle of this, because this is my absolute favorite as of now from the two. I haven't smelled any of the other ones that he has out, just these particular two. And Absolutio is my absolute favorite right now. Baccarat Rouge 540 has jasmine and saffron, which that's one note, the saffron that they share. It has amberwood and ambergris. So ambergris is the second note that they share together. It has fir resin and cedar. And it does, both of those do share a woody note. So I can't completely place them. Like, it's not an absolute clone of it, but if that's what he was shooting for as far as scent, then he's pretty close. The performance on this, in the air, man, this is nice. It wasn't overpowering. It wasn't as strong of a sweet smell as Baccarat Rouge 540 is. This gave me at least 2.5 to 3 hours of good projection and longevity. You know, I had this on almost all day. I left the house kind of early yesterday morning. I got back. I actually didn't come straight back. Wherever I was at, I came back and I went straight to work. And I got off about 10. So I had this on almost all day. And I got well over, I'll say, 10 hours of longevity out of this. So that in itself is good. Now, I can't speak for what other people are getting from his fragrances if they've tested them. This is just what I got. This was still on me when I got home last night after 10. And I had this on well before 12 o'clock noon yesterday. It was like 11:10 something or 11 when I left here yesterday. So it's damn good performance out of this fragrance. I like it. I said this before. I salute and commend Steven for, you know, what he's done with his fragrance line. I know a lot of people are on the fence about it. Some people just are straight up haters. They want to hate on Steven. They want to hate on, you know, all the guys or ladies who have their fragrances or fragrance lines out. Just because they sit around all day with their thumb up their butt and not doing anything for themselves. These people are actually out doing things for themselves. They're making money. They're putting out, in some cases, decent fragrances. And I don't have any complaints. I mean, you know, whether they smell like something, they're a clone of something else. Maybe just the opening smells like a certain fragrance and it changes to something else. It is what it is. I like Absolutio right now better than I like anything else that he has as far as Primus and Absolutio. Absolutio is my absolute favorite, no pun intended. Um, I want to get my nose on the rest of the fragrances from his line, but until then, these are the only two I have that I can go off of. Price wise, if you are somebody like me who really doesn't want to pay a whole lot for a fragrance, Stevens Absolutio is running, from what I got from the website, $195. To me, that's too much money. Just my personal opinion. I'm not trying to down him or what he has going on money wise or how it's priced. That's his business. Me personally, I'm just not one for spending that kind of money for any fragrance. I don't care what it is. There's only one fragrance that I paid over $150 for, and the only reason why was because it wasn't my money. So, I mean, it's a no-brainer for me. I'm not spending that kind of money for a fragrance. But for somebody who is looking for a name brand fragrance without buying from a clone house, instead of buying Baccarat Rouge 540, I think Absolutio, with the way it smells, is close enough to me. It's not an exact copy, but you'll get close enough to it. Instead of paying what Baccarat Rouge 540 is running, $300 to $400 and something dollars, you may be able to find it a little cheaper, like $2 something. But out of those two, if you want to spend the money for 540, then you go right ahead. But Absolutio from Navitus for $195 is not bad if you're looking at it price-wise from those standpoints. Now, Sensual Obsessions does have their version, which is pretty good, which is a whole hell of a lot cheaper. I think around the 20-something, maybe $30 mark for some of their fragrances. But I know a lot of people also have issues with, wanting to buy from Sensual Obsessions, and then they moaning and groaning about having to let something sit and all of that. So if you got the money, spend it, buy 540, or go ahead and get Absolutio. That's you guys' choice. Just personally speaking, I just don't want to spend $200 on any fragrance. I'm not spending $300-$400 on a fragrance. I'm not even willing to really spend $60, $70, $80 on a fragrance. That's just my personal preference. I know a lot of people are going to have issues with what I have to say about it, but that's just me and how I live. That's how I roll. And that's all I got, guys. So, Steven, once again, thumbs up. If that wasn't what you were shooting for this to smell like 540, if I'm wrong, then somebody please in the comment section let me know. But that's just personally what I get from this fragrance. But it's not a bad fragrance, and I like it a lot. So far, like I said, this is my favorite that I've smelled so far from the two. I think he has like 4 or 5 more different ones. So until I can get my hands on the rest of those, these are the only two I have. These were gifted to me by Matt over at Georgia Gent. We already did a review on it. So if you want to check that first impression review out, go back, check it out. It's on my channel. And here's to smelling great. I'm out of here, y'all. Peace.